I wanted to be gone, far, far away from that team, from that company, from the work I was doing, and just doing anything but that. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Sharita. I am in the middle of doing client work and had this crazy revelation that I had to record and tell you guys about. If you have been applying for jobs nonstop and you haven't been getting through, it's probably because you're not supposed to have a job right now. Don't get me wrong, I don't think you're supposed to be broke and struggling and life is supposed to be hard for the entirety of your life. But I do believe that if something is not working out for you, it's because there's supposed to be something else for you. So I am doing client work right now where I have to audit a curriculum for them. And I'm reviewing the content of the client software, and pretty much I came across a video that mentioned the name of this company that I was interested in. A recruiter randomly found me, which never happens to me. So anybody who has those random recruiters in their inboxes and actually gives them jobs, shout out to you. That's not my story. Anyways, the recruiter finds me, is basically doing all the things to try to help me get in this company. We are working on my resume together, different drafts, this, that, and the third. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, this is heaven sent. I'm gonna get this job at this company. And the salary was supposed to be like 2 times what I was making at the company I was at. And so, knowing me, I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get up out of here. I want to make a come up financially, all this other stuff. And, submit my resume, never hear from the recruiter again. Never get a call back from the company, nothing. This is before the big 2025, nobody's getting a job kind of situation. And so eventually I go on medical leave because health-wise, things were going downhill, emotionally, physically, all that stuff. And so I reflect on the fact that I spent so much time during that year trying to get a job outside of the company that I was at. Pretty much, I wanted to be gone, far, far away from that team, from that company, from the work I was doing, and just doing anything but that. And I remember feeling so sad, like, God, why won't you get me out of this situation that is obviously not good for me? I'm literally sitting here on medical leave because of how much stress my body has endured from being in this environment. And, ultimately left that role. I'll talk about that one day, but found myself trying to figure out the next step. So I had this idea of a business that I had kind of started working on earlier in the year, but I frankly just had to jump into it because I'm like, okay, well, what is my next step? One thing about the Caribbean, you're gonna just hear random music in the background. You're gonna hear the cicadas and all kind of stuff that's going on in the background, so excuse me. So yeah, I get pushed into entrepreneurship and am basically restarting everything, trying to find clients, trying to figure out what services and products I'm gonna offer in the first place and how to make it all make sense. And it was hard. To put it short, I look at my life just a few years later and I'm thinking about the fact that I am back and forth between Guyana and the US, which is something I always wanted. I'm able to travel as I please because my job is wireless, which is something I always wanted. And I get to do things that I actually give a damn about in my job. And if I had gotten that role 2-3 years ago when I was really praying for it and really hoping for it, I would not be able to do all the things that I'm able to do now, such as going after getting my master's, traveling to see different countries, doing work that impacts people that matter to me, getting farther in my nonprofit, exercising when I see fit, like not having to commute for hours on end. That is not something that was likely going to come out of the role that I was hoping and praying for and that I thought was coming towards me because it was supposed to be for me. So yeah, when I read the name of that company, it took me back because I was like, yo, I remember this company. And here I am basically writing a guide and just client work based off of them because of the fact that I'm doing my own business and I'm doing my own thing. And I don't know, it's just, I'm making this video because I feel like life is just so full circle and nothing passes you for real. Nothing passes you. I haven't heard the name of that company in years. And for it to show up in this way as I'm doing client work for my company is crazy to me. Had never heard of it before the recruiter reached out to me, and never heard of it again until today. And so I'm making this video because I think that whoever you are, wherever you are, if you are feeling down and out about the job market, it's completely understandable. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that it is easy to be without work, or to, be laid off or fired, made redundant. It's not easy. It's a hurt and a slap, or actually even just leaving voluntarily. It is not easy on the ego. It's not easy on the pockets. But sometimes, like, God and just opportunities out there are just bigger than anything that you could have ever imagined for yourself, anything that you could have desired for yourself. And yeah, I'm just so grateful that here I am, home in Guyana, building a business that I care about, pushing my nonprofit farther. And here's the thing, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. I wouldn't recommend this for most people, but I think the same still applies. If a job is not for you, if something is not for you, you're not gonna get it. And if you force yourself into getting that thing that isn't meant for you, you're gonna lose it fast. Or you're gonna pay for it in a way that you did not expect. Read into that as you wish, but I meant you're gonna pay for it. But all that to say, to those of you who are still waiting and just crying out and just feeling the burn of not getting something that you feel like you deeply need at this time, have faith and hope and gratitude for what you do have, but also expectancy that when you do get your reward or whatever you think you need, that is going to be greater than anything you ever expected. I don't think that I saw myself as an entrepreneur when I was enduring so much frustration at my old job. I didn't even see myself as an entrepreneur when I started putting together a business idea, which is probably counterproductive or counterintuitive. I just knew that I was putting the pieces together of things that I liked and enjoyed and wouldn't mind doing in another role. So I wasn't even seeing myself as an entrepreneur. I was just identifying the work that I like doing. And here I am now running my own company, submitting invoices for thousands of dollars and so much more. And I do feel like I'm on trend at some point to make more than my job in corporate ever paid me. And now more than ever, I know that had I taken that job or gotten that job, don't even let me say take, because they didn't give me the job to take. But if I had the opportunity to take that job that was paying me double what I was getting paid in my corporate role, I would have took it in a heartbeat. And who knows what would have come out of that. In a perfect world, I would have stacked up my money and had mad bread to do all the other things that I thought I wanted to do. But instead, that denial turned into me having basically the perfect job for where I am in my life right now. A few years ago, I had no idea that I would have the need to travel as often as I do and need the flexibility to move around and grow and all this other stuff. Life can be so unpredictable sometimes, but it always ends up working itself out. Let me know if you are still hoping for a job and hoping for transformation. This is crazy. What a difference a few years can make. Have a good night.